Well, here we go, May already. I think we've almost passed the spring real estate season and heading into summer here with Sheri Willick. And Sheri, let's talk about statistics because I understand we're in record-setting territory in Saskatoon.
Sure, Saskatoon's benchmark price for April is $422,600. Like, it just seems crazy, but when you look in prospective Regina's is $335,000. I mean, we've always been a fair amount apart from them, but that seems huge. You look over to the next province at Edmonton in March, theirs was $431,000. So we're really inching up on Edmonton prices now.
We're talking like within $10,000 on the benchmark price. And of course, it changes based on where you are in the market and demographic and location and yada, 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 yada. But that's staggering. So maybe a good time for sellers.
Absolutely. Or even if you're, I've got a lot of people reaching out right now that are like, Sheri, I'm just curious, like, what do you think my house could go for? And maybe they don't want to sell today. Maybe they would when they realize what they can sell it for. So I've set up for my clients, and if anybody wants them, just reach out and I'll get you connected on it too. Quarterly neighborhood snapshots. You want to know what's going on in your neighborhood? What everything's selling for? I'll get it to you.
Perfect. Sounds like an appraisal, but without the fee. So really, you just can't take that one to the bank, which is a whole other issue and not what we're talking about today. But we did want to talk as we head towards May long weekend and the summer season, lakeland, cottages. And the first thing to note is that not all lakes are created equal.
Oh, absolutely not, right? But here in Saskatchewan, we are big on, camping, cottages, fishing. We want to be out on our boats, and we have such a short summer, right? And maybe what you want out of your recreational property is something for the winter too, because you like to ice fish and snowmobile and do those things. But absolutely important is knowing what you want out of that recreational property. Do you want something just small little place and have a fire pit in the back, or are you wanting something that you can set up bunkhouses and all those other things? Because some places won't allow you to do like certain things and builds and add-ons, right?
Okay, gotcha. And that's just kind of one little microcosm of all of it. And you, of course, could explain it in more detail, but it could be as simple as, say, knowing if you're actually buying the parcel of land that it sits on, or is it a lease because it's a national park?
Right, and there is, in provincial parks, national parks all have different rules, and then there's some lakes that are set up by a private developer and they have their own rules on it. But definitely knowing whether you're buying the land or if it's a leasehold is huge, because especially if you are financing it, because some lenders don't love to lend on leaseholds. Some do, there is. But knowing going in ahead of time, because you might need to put more down on a leasehold than you would on a
right, because for the lender a little more inherent risk because they can't reclaim the land. It's just what you put on that land, and it probably doesn't carry as much value if you don't have the land on it. At least that's how my brain has taken us through this. And I mean, it could be as easy as a height restriction or a zoning allowance, or as you mentioned, not able to build a bunkhouse or a granny suite or whatever the case might be. Right. Where do you go to get that information?
Well, to me, it's best to have a realtor that is working in the area that you want to go. So, I mean, if you're wanting to be at Candle Lake, then you contact your realtor and say, let's find out everything about Candle Lake. If you're wanting to be in a provincial park, then they're going to dig into what you can do and not do. Like I said, there's some lakes that you can't build a bunkhouse there. They've restricted. The RMs have said no. So then your realtor should be able to tell you that before you're buying it, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. It'd be nothing worse than having all these grandiose plans and having them X'd after it's all said and done. Sheri, thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful May-long weekend.
You too.
And get selling, okay? SheriWillick.com, that's who you need to be in touch with.